Assalamualaikum students, I hope you're doing great. So welcome back for another video. So in this video we're going to be talking about evaporation, condensation, and how is air cooled to form rainfall, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So the same process again, dear students. I'm going to read the literature first. Literature means, whatever the text is written in the book. I will read that first for you very slowly, and then I will explain you. And with that, if you don't understand further, I'm for further clarification, I will make you see some pictures as well on the Google as well. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Evaporation. So it's a question written here in the very beginning of the book that have your wet clothes been put outside on a sunny day to dry? How quickly do they dry? And where did the water in the wet clothes go? Okay, it's a question. They're asking a question that, for example, usually your mom washes your clothes, and when she, hangs them on the ropes, okay, in your home on a very sunny day. So have you ever seen that? Of course, we all have seen that, definitely. So the question is that where does the water gets away from the wet clothes, okay? So where is the water disappearing? And even if so you're going to say, you're probably going to have this answer that, sir, that water dries up. Okay, so if I ask you this question, that how does that drying process takes place? How it happens, okay? With air, with sunlight, with heat, and what exactly is happening in that process, okay? What is the backstory of that process, okay? What are the mechanics of that process, okay? So in the second paragraph, it says over here that the heat of the air evaporated the water. The heat of the air evaporated the water. Okay. So the process of the evaporation turns the water into the water vapor. So it says that if the air is hot, it can absorb the more water vapor than if the air is cold. So wet clothes dry more quickly on a hot day than definitely a wet or a cold day. All right. So it's a very simple process, guys. It's explaining that. When it's rainy, you might have seen, you can ask this from your moms as well, that see, whenever it's a rainy day, okay, and of course, first of all, your mom's never going to wash your clothes on a rainy day, okay, number one thing. Number two thing, even if she does washes your clothes on a rainy day, so the clothes are going to take probably more time to get dry. It's very obvious because there's no heat. There is no hot air. The air is also cool. And maybe, who knows, the air is having more water vapor content in it, more droplets in it that we cannot see. Okay? Adding furthermore to that, but contrary to that, we have seen that, on very hot sunny days, like for today, it's 13th of July, it's like 1 p.m. and it's like, very hot outside. So the air is dry, the air is hot as well. The sun is like literally shining, not shining, but literally burning the skin, because I've been going university these days as well. So yes, the clothes are going to get dry very quickly. So what actually is happening? So if you can see this word written over here, that air evaporated the water. Air evaporates the water. The water which is in the clothes, it gets evaporated, okay? So that's something that you need to keep in mind, okay? So if in Urdu, if I have to explain you that wo pani bhap banke ud jata hai hawa mein, it gets evaporated, okay? For instance, whenever the rainfall, takes place outside on the road, now there are two ways to, make that water go away. Number one way is through the drainage. Like if we have a good drainage system on the road, so we're not going to see any rainwater outside on the roads. But yes, let's say that if the drainage system is not that good, not efficient, and still there is water on the road, so you must see, you might have noticed this thing, that after a couple of days, let's say 2 or 3 days after the rainfall, when the sun is like literally shining, so that water is getting evaporated. The water it disappears. How? Because of the evaporation process. If you remember that the previous slides, the previous lectures, we've studied the process of evaporation. For instance, if you boil water on the stove, in a pot, okay, but if you overboil it, so after some time, after 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on the amount of the water is going to evaporate. It's going to turn into water vapors, and it's going to literally fly away from there, right? So something very important you got to keep in your mind, because the next topic, condensation, is going to help you to understand that. All right. So yep, guys, I don't want to make it so quick, long video. So yep, see you in the next video. So like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video as well. And yep, see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.